Okay, let's dive in. We're moving beyond the textbook stuff today, the grammar drills, the perfect sentences.
Right, because you can ace the test, write the essay.
Exactly, but then you're in a real conversation just chatting, and someone throws out rizz, or, like, no cap.
And suddenly it feels like a different language, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're just lost.
Yeah, that confidence just kind of vanishes.
Well, that's the gap we're tackling in this deep dive between knowing the rules and actually, sounding natural.
Our mission, basically, is to pull out the key stuff you need. The unspoken rules, the context.
So you can understand this stuff, decode it, and maybe even use it yourself comfortably.
Because we get it, this kind of language changes fast. It can feel like trying to, catch smoke.
It really can. But we think by looking at how these terms work, you'll get the hang of it. You'll get the tools.
And you'll be able to figure out new slang as it pops up. Because honestly, slang it's kind of the pulse of the language, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's key if you want to sound, authentic, like you really belong in the conversation.
And that brings us straight to this huge difference between classroom English and, real life.
Because having a big vocabulary is great, but if you want to really connect with people,
you need the right vocabulary for this situation, the contextual stuff.
That's the real core of it, isn't it? The so what factor. Why bother learning vibe when you already know atmosphere?
Because vibe signals something different, it's more casual, it connects you to the group in a way atmosphere maybe doesn't.
Exactly. Knowing this stuff helps you understand instantly and connect faster. It shows you're on the same wavelength.
Let's use that key example from our sources. Someone says, that guy's got mad rizz.
Okay. You might know guy, mad, got, basic words.
But if rizz is just a blank,
then the whole point of the sentence is gone. You've missed the social comment, the judgment about his flirting skills. It just flies right over your head.
Yeah, totally lost. And what's really interesting is how efficient slang is.
No different.
Rizz packs so much, meaning he's really charming and good at attracting people into just 4 letters.
It's like linguistic shorthand. Super useful for talking quickly and casually.
So if you want to understand or use that shorthand, we need to map it out a bit.
Right. Let's start with some clear definitions. That's step 1. We need to break down some of the big terms floating around now.
Let's kick off with the one that actually won Oxford Word of the Year, rizz.
Yeah, rizz. We touched on it. It's basically charm, attractiveness. Specifically when it comes to flirting.
So it implies confidence, social ease.
Exactly. That kind of natural ability to connect with someone romantically or, get their attention.
Okay, got it. Next up, one that feels a bit more complicated, maybe even negative sometimes. Simp.
Ah, simp. Yeah, this one's tricky. It means someone who's doing way too much for someone they like, often hoping for attention back.
Like overly affectionate or submissive?
Kind of. It suggests they're putting the other person on a pedestal, maybe even at their own expense. It's often used jokingly, but...
But the underlying idea is a critique of being, too eager.
Pretty much, yeah. You gotta be careful with that one.
Okay. And the last one for this round, really important for saying you're serious. No cap.
No cap. Straightforward, this one. It just means seriously, no lie. I'm telling the truth.
Used for emphasis, right, to show you really mean what you're saying.
Exactly. Usually tacked on to the end of a sentence, sometimes the beginning. That was amazing, no cap.
Okay, definitions help. But now, the real deep dive part, understanding the slang spectrum.
Because slang isn't just one big thing. It's meaning, its use, how long it lasts. It all depends on context.
Get the context wrong and it's awkward, really awkward.
Yeah, like showing up to a party that ended last week.
So we can break it down into maybe 3 main groups, just to give you a framework.
Okay, what's the first one?
First up, internet slang. This stuff is born online, TikTok, Twitch, social media comments, forums.
So simp and no cac would probably fit here, originally at least. Definitely. They spread like wildfire online. The key thing about internet slang is it's fast, very fast.
Viral, maybe fleeting, and often tied to specific online communities.
Exactly, and you see it written down a lot. Captions, texts, comments, maybe more than spoken face-to-face initially. It's about quick identity online.
Okay, so internet slang. What's next?
Then you've got social slang. This usually changes a bit slower. It's more about your immediate circle friends, people at school, maybe colleagues you're close with.
Things like lit or vibe might fit here.
Good examples. Vibe is perfect. It describes a shared feeling and atmosphere within a group.
Right. If a place has a good vibe, it's like everyone in your group kind of gets it and agrees. It's about shared feeling.
Exactly. It builds that group identity. Its purpose is more about shared emotional understanding.
Internet slang, social slang. Is there a third?
Yeah, the third is everyday slang. These are the terms that have kind of graduated. They've become mainstream.
Used by lots of different people, maybe different age groups, even in slightly more formal places sometimes.
Precisely. Think about common idioms or casual phrases you might hear in a shop, a cafe, even a relaxed classroom setting. These are much more stable.
Okay, that spectrum makes sense. Internet, social, everyday.
Yeah.
And knowing the difference is crucial.
Absolutely. If you drop a super niche TikTok phrase like brand new this week into an everyday chat with someone you barely know.
You'll probably get a blank stare. Or worse, sound like you're trying way too hard.
Yeah, it comes across as performative, not authentic. It's the difference between communicating naturally and just like mimicking sounds.
Okay, so let's make this practical. Knowing the definitions in the spectrum is one thing.
But using it smoothly, naturally, that's the real goal. It's about flow.
Right. Let's look at those scenarios. They really show how these words actually work in a conversation.
Yeah, two good examples here. First one, you're in a coffee shop.
Okay. Imagine your friend says something like, wow, this new place is awesome. It's totally lit today.
Okay, standard textbook response. I concur. The ambiance is quite pleasant.
Huh. Yeah, nobody talks like that. So, a fluent response. Using the slang naturally.
He could say something like, I know, right? The vibe here is seriously amazing, no cap.
Okay, see how that works? You agreed with lit, explained why using vibe, and then added that extra emphasis with no cap.
And notice the placement. No cap usually feels most natural at the end. Saying, no cap, the vibe here is amazing is okay, but...
A little less smooth, like you're announcing your sincerity up front.
Kind of, yeah. That end placement often just flows better. Little details like that matter.
Okay, good tip. Scenario 2. You're at a party. This one's more about understanding and how you reply.
Right. Your friend pulls you aside, points someone out. Dude, did you see Jake talking to Sarah?
Yeah.
He's got mad rizz, man.
Okay, so he's smooth, charming her. You understand rizz. Now, how do you respond naturally?
Well, you could say, yes, his rizz is quite apparent.
Again, sounds robotic. Forced.
Exactly. The goal isn't just to repeat the slang back. It's to show you understood.
So a better response might be,
Something like, yeah, I noticed he seems super charming. Or, totally, he looks really confident talking to her.
so you acknowledge the rizz idea, but use more common words like charming or confident.
Precisely. It proves you got the meaning, but you're using language that's maybe a bit more universal, less trendy. That shows real understanding, real mastery.
That leads nicely into the big usage tip then. It's all about sounding natural, not like you memorized a list.
Absolutely critical. And the best way isn't just repeating the word. It's role-playing. Seriously.
Practice it out loud, maybe with a friend or even just in the mirror.
Yeah. Say the whole phrase. Record yourself maybe. Does it sound relaxed? Does the intonation feel right? Slang often has a very casual, almost thrown-away feel.
Right, if you say that's L-I-T, really formally and like over-enunciate it.
It sounds completely wrong. You sound like you're reading it off a flashcard. That casual intonation is key.
Okay, so practice the sound, not just the word. Got it. Now, the warnings, the danger zones.
All right, slang is powerful, but you gotta handle it carefully. First big one, the professional pitfall.
This feels obvious, but maybe it isn't always. Using very informal slang, especially internet or social slang in, say, a job interview.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
Or a formal email to a client. Or a presentation. Generally, no. Just don't.
What does it signal?
It signals you don't understand professional norms. Formal language shows respect for the situation, seriousness. Casual slang shows, well, casualness. Mixing them up undermines your credibility.
Saying our Q3 results were lit, no cap to your boss? Probably not the best move.
Probably not gonna land. Well, no. It just creates confusion about how serious you are. Stick to the appropriate register.
Okay, professional context is out. What other warnings?
The offense warning. This is crucial. Not all slang is harmless fun. Some terms are old-fashioned in a bad way. Some are genuinely offensive. Some are tied to groups in ways you might not understand.
So if you're not 100% sure about a word's history or its connotations,
just avoid it. Seriously. Better safe than sorry. Wait until you've heard it used more or checked its meaning reliably. Don't guess.
good advice. But what if you hear something and you don't know what it means? Is it okay to ask?
Yes, that's the safety net. Our sources highlighted this. Most people actually appreciate curiosity.
So instead of just nodding along looking confused,
Just politely say, sorry, that's a new one for me. What does the slang term mean there? Or could you tell me what that means?
people would rather you ask than misuse something offensive or just zone out completely.
Exactly. Asking shows you're engaged and want to understand. It's usually received well.
Okay, so we know the types, how to practice, what to avoid. How do you keep up? Slang changes so fast. How do you build that fluency long term?
Right. You can't just rely on one deep dive. You need ongoing strategies. We've got 4 key ones based on practice.
What's the first?
Active observation. Don't just passively scroll or watch stuff. Really listen. When you hear slang, ask yourself, who's saying it? To whom? What's the mood? What's the context?
Pay attention to the details of how it's used, not just that it's used.
Exactly. Second, practice. We talked about role-playing and saying things aloud. Also, try building sentences yourself. Take rizz. Write down 5 different sentences using it. Maybe one's a compliment, one's a question.
Play around with it in different ways to get comfortable. Makes sense. Third,
Engage. This is the scary one for some people. Gradually try using a few well-chosen terms in real conversations. Start safe with friends you trust, people who are fluent.
low stakes first. See how it lands.
Right. If they respond normally, great. If you get a weird look or they gently correct you, okay, maybe park that term for a bit. Learn from the feedback.
Okay, observe, practice, engage. What's the last one? You said it was more advanced.
Yeah, this is about building a deeper understanding.
Yeah.
Context mapping. Don't just write down rizz charm.
What should you write down then?
Write the term. Write the exact sentence you heard it in. Note the setting. Friend said this at lunch, saw it in a YouTube comment. And critically, note the feeling or intention behind it. Was it funny? Serious? Critical?
Ah, so you're building your own personal dictionary, but with all the context attached, like a little usage guide.
Exactly. It helps you internalize why a word is used, not just what it means. That map is how you build real, adaptable fluency. You're learning the social function.
Okay, let's wrap this up then. To bring it all together, slang feels tricky, maybe intimidating,
Because it moves so fast. Yeah.
but it's also the key to sounding genuinely fluent and connected.
And you can tackle it. Use that slang spectrum idea, internet, social, every day, to understand where things fit.
Focus on sounding natural, practice the flow, the intonation, don't just drop words in randomly.
Start small. Be okay with making mistakes sometimes. And always try to understand before you try to use it yourself. Comprehension first.
Be strategic about what you listen to and how you practice.
Right. And finally, we always like to leave you with something to think about, something to chew on, building on that context mapping idea. Since language is everywhere now, recorded online, on TV, think about this. How does slang used by, say, media figures, people trying to go viral, sound different from how your actual friends use it in person?
Yeah. Is there a difference in authenticity, speed, purpose? What changes when slang is used for performance online versus connection in real life?
Exploring that difference, the digital performance versus the social bond that's digging into the next really interesting layer of fluency. Keep observing, keep diving deep.